Hello, and welcome to the second video in the Talk Data to Me series by Counselor Connect. This series focuses on specific skills and tools to help school counselors easily analyze and disaggregate data. In the final video of the series, we will also learn ways to share your data once the analysis is complete. In this video, we will identify tools to be able to sort, filter, and manipulate data. We hope you will feel more confident in these skills and be able to make a plan to implement your newfound knowledge. Let me introduce you to today's speakers. My name is Angie Ness. I am a lead professional learning specialist with Hatching Results.
And I'm Cathy Patane, Zionsville Community High School's College and Career Transition Coordinator.
We are both members of the Comprehensive School Counseling Strategic Priority Team for Counselor Connect. Counselor Connect is an expert network of student service professionals who provide professional development, resources, and support. Now, let's get started.
The first tool we're going to review with you is removing duplicates. There have been many times that I'm working on a spreadsheet and notice that I have exact same duplicated information on a spreadsheet. So one of the tools that Excel affords us is the data removal or cleanup tool. You would click on data and find data cleanup. When you click on remove duplicates, it will ask you a series of questions. The first one is whether or not your spreadsheet has a header row. We do have a row that we would consider having a header on it, so we will select that. Now, I am working on column B with the student information, which in our example is student numbers. So instead of doing all of the data, I'm saying pull from column B, and if you have duplicates, we're going to remove them. In this instance, our spreadsheet found 8 duplicate rows that were identical and removed them.
Okay, and now I'm going to talk to you about COUNTIFs. So in this data set that we've been using for these videos, this is a data dashboard that I used to use for my students. And so you'll see that I was able to pull a list of students with all of their demographic information. But if I needed other information like how many Fs they had in core courses or their number of absences or office referrals, those were separate reports that I had to pull from my student information system. So things like office referrals, if I wanted to know how many students had or how many office referrals a student had, instead of going to the report that my student information system gave me and count how many times that student showed up, I can use a formula called COUNTIF. So basically it's going to count a certain instance if they find whatever you're looking for. So in this instance, I want to look for the student number in that discipline report and see how many times it shows up so it can tell me how many office referrals my student has. So the way this formula works is we start by typing an equal sign. That's how you always start formulas in Google Sheets or Excel. So this formula, again, is COUNTIF. So we will type COUNTIF, all one word. And then we have to do an open parentheses. So for this formula, the first thing we're going to do is tell Google Sheets where this data that we're looking for is located. So again, it's in this discipline tab where this report is housed at, and it's going to be in column B because that's where that student number that I'm going to be looking for is at. You type a comma, and then we're going to tell them exactly what to look for. So for this one, we're looking for this student number. Then we're going to do a close parentheses. So everything we need is in here, where they're looking for it and what they're looking for. So we're going to press enter. And for this particular student in row 3, they have 0 office referrals. Google has done a nice thing for us, and they've recognized that we probably want to use the same formula for the rest of the rows, and it's offering to autofill that. So we're going to click yes. So now it has gone through and looked at each individual student number to see how many times it has shown up in the data or the discipline report and reported it back to us. So instead of having to count it myself, it has counted it for me. Okay. If you want to level up, if this is something easy, I did this also for my Fs and core classes. This is a little bit more detailed in that count ifs. So there's going to be more than one thing it's looking for. It's looking for the student number. It's also looking for grades that are Fs and grades in the different subjects. So language arts, social studies. This is something that you might want to research on your own and learn how to do. Again, it's quick and easy to do, and it will count up things for you without having to do it yourself. This formula is also the exact same in Excel as it is in Google Sheets. So the next formula we're going to do is VLOOKUP. So again, absences is something that I want to know about my student, how many absences they have, what their attendance rate is. Again, it comes in a separate report in my student information system. So instead of having to go into this report and look line by line and taking this and manually putting the number of absences back into this dashboard, I can have Google Sheets look it up for me. So the way this formula works, again, we start with an equal sign, and then we type VLOOKUP because that is the formula, and our open parentheses. This one's a little different in that we tell it what we want it to look for first. So we want to look for this student number. So that's why we're going to click on that. And we're going to put a comma. And then we need to tell it where to look for it at. So again, we're going to go into our attendance tab where the report is located. And we know that the student number is in that first column. And then the number of absences underneath this menu here is in column I. So in order to look for all of that, we need to highlight the entire range or the entire group of cells that it's looking into. So we're highlighting A through I because A is where that student number is and I is where the number of absences is. This spreadsheet needs a little bit more information because it could return information from any of these columns. So we need to be specific about what column we want it to return the information from. So if they're looking for student number, we want them to return the number of absences. So it's going to be as easy as counting which column number that is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to type a 9 in there, meaning you're looking for a student number. It's going to look in column A, and then we want it to return from column 9, which is where absences is. One more comma, and then we're going to type false because Google Sheets, Excel will give us the option of giving us or looking for something that's close or looking for an exact number or exact text. So we want it to be exact of what they're looking for. We don't want them to find 15106. We don't want them to find 15110. We want this exact number. So false means they're going to look for the exact match. We're going to close that. Our formula is done, so we'll press enter. So again, this student here has no absences. But what you'll notice is that it did not automatically offer to copy that formula down for us. So instead of having to type it in over and over again, one trick in Google Sheets and in Excel is right here, you'll see there's this kind of circle at the corner of the cell. We're going to hover over that until we get that crosshatch. And then if you double click, it will automatically copy it down for you. So again, a quick and easy way for Google Sheets to do the work for you, to go in and look up the information and return it for you. Again, this formula VLOOKUP is the exact same in Excel as it is in Google Sheets.
The last tool that I'd like to review with you is called Fillable Charts. This is when we can look at the data and say, okay, now that we have points of interest that might focus our counselors on additional support for students, There's a fillable that we could use to help us continue to narrow down the students that we would like to take additional actions on. So if I put my cursor on AB in that first column, what I can do is click on data and then data validation. And we have no rules currently on our data. So I am adding a rule, and I would like the drop down for the type of criteria that I'm looking for. And then I can type in whatever it is that I would like to show up on my drop down menu. So in this instance, I'm going to type referral to social worker for one of my options. And then maybe for a second option, I might set up parent meeting. I will click done in the bottom right. And then up here, I can click on the X menu so I can see everything. What you'll notice is a grayed out menu bar with the caret. You will go ahead and click on that drop down and you'll see my options are right there. The edit button is here for you if you'd like to click on it and add additional items. But now what I'll want to do is go ahead and start to sort. Let's say I'm sorting by absences, and I would like to see the highest number up at the top versus at the bottom. And I wasn't at that top, so I don't have that rule. Let's just go ahead one more time. We'll do our data validation, add rule. Remember, an example of that is going to be referral to social worker. And the second one would be set up parent meeting. Once I have it already added, remember we've got that add. I'm going to click out. I want to adopt those menus, those drop-down menus for several of these so I can drag and drop it. So let's say for the students that have more of the attendance issues, I'm going to go ahead and select social worker. I can also drag and drop and it will reflect that I would like the social worker referral for these students. I could also go ahead and change and say, hey, I'd like to set it up with a parent meeting. So that's how you can do drop downs once you have the information that you're looking for. Now it's slightly different for those that would like to work straight out of Excel. So I'm going to click on the Excel and also show you how to do that. With our Excel file, you are going to take a look at right here under data and then data validation. So I'm going to click on that. And you'll see that the referral to social worker and setup to parent meeting is already here. Let's say I would like to add an additional item and it's to collect teacher feedback. Okay, so you can easily do add things, subtract things, click OK, and then you'll see that that option is there. In upcoming videos, in the next few months, you will see additional reviewing of Excel tools that can be easily used by counselors. We want to thank you for watching and keep indianalearning.org for more information.